Wizards of the Coast has given us an unearthed arcana that I don't think too many people will actually be mad about. Welcome to 220s Later. My name is Wes, and this is Surface Thoughts, the initial reaction to all TTRPG news and media. Or at least the stuff I want to make Surface Thoughts about. In this video, the new unearthed arcana 8 Bastions. They also revised a bunch of cantrips in this one, but I'm not too worried about those for this video. Bastions are just like an overhaul or an update to the stronghold system that they had in the 2014 Dungeon Master's Guide that they're looking to update and expand upon in the 2024 one. Controversial as the 2024 core rules update is, I actually agree that this is a needed update. The idea of bases and headquarters for adventuring parties, especially as they scale up the levels, is something that I've always been interested in as a dungeon master and as a player. I've always thought it would be really cool to have a base and have employees that take care of the base while you're gone and accomplish tasks while you're off adventuring and saving the world. So let's take a look at it now. I'm not gonna go over every single thing in it because the document is free online. If you want to read it yourself, you can. But I'm going to go over the things that I really enjoy. So, gaining the Bastion. Your characters could acquire the Bastion at 5th level. Now, I don't like how it says characters acquire their Bastions, like they just get it. You and the players can decide together how the Bastions come into being. I think you either gotta build it or inherit a structure that already exists. It gives some examples about how you can go on about doing that, but it basically says at 5th level is when the player character gets the Bastion. It has this thing called Bastion turns, which is just a week of in-game time. That's all it is it's just a week. They also took an interesting direction with Bastions, and they wanted to make them more player initiated. They wanted to take the burden of the Bastion off of the Dungeon Master, so the player gets to choose where the rooms are. They get to make the map, and later we'll talk about how they get to pick what rooms exist in this Bastion. A big red flag that sticks up to me right off the bat, though, is that each player character at 5th level gets their own Bastion. And I don't really know how I feel about that. Maybe at like higher levels, like when we're talking about epic level campaigns, or at least high tier when we can teleport to each other. At 5th level, I don't think the player characters are logically famous enough or have enough money probably to buy or inherit all of these different establishments. So because I intend to use this in my game, I will probably make one giant structure that all of the player characters share, but they get to pick the rooms that are in that giant structure. So they're all still together. It's still the party's Bastion. It's just that the player characters get to pick what rooms they add to it. You get to do some cool things with the Bastion, though. It creates Bastion Points, which you can use to get different benefits, like acquiring magic items, or socially, you can start to advertise or gain advantage on charisma checks within 50 miles of your Bastion. If you use the Acquisitions Incorporated rules of a headquarters, you can sort of combine it with this, and when the headquarters moves, basically, and you take it places, if it's a carriage or a ship or something like that, when you arrive at a new location, you can spend these Bastion points to continue to advertise and spread the word of your business through this new region that you're in, so that way when you're making charisma checks to people of importance, if you're trying to negotiate a business deal or something like that, you can get advantage if you have the Bastion points for it. It comes with some facilities that you would expect it to have, you know, stairs, doors, closets, bedrooms, dining room, kitchen, stuff like that. The really cool part of this is the special facilities. The special facilities are where this system really expands. You get the different space sizes, the prerequisites for getting these special facilities, the hirelings, the employees that you have come and work in your facility. You have the orders where over the course of a week, different special facilities are capable of doing different actions, and you get different benefits depending on the rooms. And these are all the rooms. This is quite a substantial list, I would say, stuff in here that there's a lot of good things in here. I just wish that level 17 didn't peter off so much. I understand that you're going to have more options in the lower levels, especially when the options are like a garden, a library, and like the level 17 one is a demi-plane. I understand that we're going to run out of rooms of equal importance. But I can think of rooms that are a bit more niche, a bit more specialty than a pub, for example, or a menagerie, which is a zoo. I can think of some higher level rooms, so Wizards of the Coast should be able to as well. But the idea of this is you'll notice some of them have prerequisites, like the ability to use an arcane focus as a spellcasting focus. So like you need to basically you need to be an arcane caster, a bard, wizard, sorcerer, or warlock to take the arcane study. Or you need to have a fighting style feature or unarmed defense feature in order to get the smithy in your bastion. Expertise in a skill for the workshop, stuff like that. And then you'll see the different orders that you can give them. I'm not going to go through all the rooms in this video because there's a lot, but I want to talk about some of the easier ones to understand. So the first one that I really enjoyed was the gaming hall, where you need 4 hirelings, so you need to pay them and pay the weekly maintenance costs, not just on the building, but to have the 4 hirelings, and you get this gaming hall. You order the trade order on the guild hall every week, and when you issue that order, the gaming hall basically runs as a casino. And because the house always wins when you do that order, you roll on this D100 table to randomly determine how much money you got as a payout of this week of people coming to your base and visiting the gaming hall. So that's really cool. Another one that I thought was really, really neat is down here, and that is the Teleportation Circle at level 9, which is the level that wizards are getting that spell. You can add one to your bastion. Great, you can teleport to your bastion at any time. You can also use the recruit action in your Teleportation Circle facility to invite wizards to come to your bastion, and there's a 50% chance they accept. It's balanced based on your level. You can get a mage or an archmage if you're level 17 or higher. And if they accept the invitation, they hang out in your base, in your bastion, for a week. And during that week, you can ask them to cast a spell for you. Basically, you can pick a wizard spell of the appropriate level. If you're asking a mage, it's level 4 or lower. And if you're asking an archmage, it's level 8 or lower. You ask them to cast this spell. Pretty much the wizard will cast this spell. For mages, I don't know how useful that will be, but for archmages, when we get like Simulacrum and Clone, like those are great spells that someone can cast on you that have long-lasting effect and utility for having an archmage around that you got because of this special facility. So the return on investment on this teleportation circle is super, super, super high, and I thought that was really, really cool. Overall, I think this is a great idea. What is this, 20 more pages of content on this system? Also events that can happen while you're away or while you are spending a week in your bastion. Just really, really cool stuff that I think is a great jumping off point. I've talked briefly about some of the things that I wasn't a super big fan of. I wasn't a huge fan on the lack of high level rooms. I think there should be more higher level rooms. I think I also saw in the menagerie that in the menagerie you can only have beasts pretty much. And I think that's kind of cringe. You should be able to put different kinds of creatures in there. But overall, I think this is a great jumping off point. I quite enjoyed looking through this document and reading all the room abilities and stuff like that. It's all super cool stuff that I can absolutely see myself using in my game. And yeah, I think it's really cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe if you want more surface thoughts about D&D news and media.